Business ownership has never been hotter, but how do you do it? That's where I come in. Allow me to guide you on your journey. Welcome to Ion Franchise. This episode sponsored by SEO Samba. Empower your franchise with predictable results and AI-driven marketing. Coming up on this episode.
You can't out-train a bad diet. You can get away with going to McDonald's and ordering the left side of the menu twice. You can get away with that.
Richard, I think we've done that.
Yes, several times. The White Castles was my favorite. Not one bag, two. Get to the gym first thing in the morning and get your workout done. Prioritize your health just like you prioritize your business.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another fabulous episode of Ion Franchising. So, as everybody knows, we talk to franchise founders, franchisees, etc. But life is about health, wealth, and relationships. I said health first, but we never talk about health. We talk about fitness franchises and how to get into those. But what about you? You right there. What about getting you in shape? I have one of the biggest experts, literally. He's a big boy. And we went to high school together. Richard Politano. He's got an amazing, his YouTube channel, Championship Muscle's got like 30,000 subscribers.
Almost 42 now. Almost 42. Almost 42,000.
Holy cow. 42.
Yeah, it's growing quick.
Rich, you're growing quickly. Richard, welcome to the show, my friend.
Thank you, Lance. Thank you.
Yeah, amazing. So we should call you Coach Richard because that's what
fine.
You are, is a coach.
That's fine, yes. Yes, I coach a lot of people.
Perfect. So let's kick it off with a very important question for anybody listening to this podcast. How do busy entrepreneurs with limited time either stay in shape or even get in shape for the first time?
First, they got to prioritize themselves and separate themselves from their business mindset and concentrate on their personal health. I'm retired from my original career. I could sleep in until 9 or 10 o'clock every morning. I'm up at 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm in the gym by 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning, training. And there's about 10 people in the gym that are in the gym that time of the morning training before they go to work because they've prioritized themselves. Yeah. Because after a long day of work, are you going to be energized enough to go to the gym at 5 or 6 o'clock?
I could never do that. So I do the same thing. I go to the gym in the morning. Right. I'm not like you and Mark Wahlberg in the gym at 4 o'clock in the morning because he's known for going that early. But yes, I have to do it first thing in the morning. Do a couple of business calls. Right. And I have to go to the gym. And you know what my wife has learned, Richard? If I have too many calls in the morning and don't get a chance to go to the gym, I actually get grumpy. She's like, honey, can you please go to the gym?
Sure. And a lot of times the people that prolong it and go to the gym after work, the place is so busy, you can't get a good workout in because you're constantly waiting on the machines. You want to go do a chest exercise. There's 3 people on deck waiting. Or someone's there and they're messing with their phone as they're texting between sets. I mean, it's ridiculous. Yes, absolutely. You know, the gyms are so crowded between, say, 4 o'clock in the afternoon up until 9 o'clock. And some people can't go to the gym later after 9 p.m. That's another good time to train, 9, 10, 11 o'clock at night. Most people don't do that. You're in bed sleeping. I mean, I'm in bed by 8, 9 o'clock at night every night. Yeah. So, you know, for me, what works for me, up at 3 in the morning, in the gym by 3:30, 4 o'clock, home by 4:45. It's done. Now the whole day is mine.
You were talking about prioritizing and really putting yourself first. So when you were mentioning 9, 10 o'clock at night, there are people I know that'll just screw around on Netflix or whatever and kind of zone out. There is a place for that relaxation and kind of meditation, if you will. Sure. But if you can't get your workout in and you're doing too much of that, you got problems. It's like I tell people with entrepreneurship, you have to make a sacrifice at some point. Right?
Yes. And a lot of people are under the impression that you've got to be in the gym for an hour or 2 hours. That is so not the case. My workouts, one body part a day. I'm done with it, 25, 30 minutes tops, and I'm out.
Okay, perfect. So let's refresh where we were already so far. You got to prioritize yourself.
Right.
Don't give yourself this torturous long workout where you run out of steam and dread it. So keep it short, keep it tight, one body part, correct?
Right. Yes. Pick your favorite 3, maybe 4 exercises, 3, maybe 4 sets, or drop sets. Do 2 rounds of drop sets. Do your exercises. Like I said, the 3, maybe 4. No talking between sets. Do your set, rest up a minute, go right back into it again, rest up a minute, and before you know it, you're done.
Yeah.
You're not chit-chatting, you're not messing with your phone, you're in and out of the gym 25, 30 minutes tops, not including cardio if you're going to do cardio, and that should be done after you train.
Yeah.
Not
Gotcha.
before.
So I do some cardio to warm up, but cardio after because you want to make sure you get the weights done effectively.
What you do with the weights is you want to burn all your glucose with your weight training. That's going to burn all the glucose and the glycogen that's stored in your body from all the food that you ate. So when you've burned through all that, when you go to do your cardio, you're going to be burning fat.
Got it.
So you're going to have all your energy done for the workout, which is the most important. And then your cardio at the end is a cool down or your fat burning session.
I love it. Yeah, no, that's a great tip. Now, what do you say for folks that are listening that said, all right, Richard, Coach Richard, you're right. I have not prioritized myself and I want to get started, but it's intimidating. I don't understand some of these new machines. They've changed machines since I've been in the gym. Everybody's focusing on their butt. I just want to focus on losing fat and this and that. What do you say to all that? How do you get started easily? Is it just hire a trainer like yourself? Talk about trainers today versus...
You can hire a trainer, but let me remind you, the trainers today are trained on the computer. They take a course, get your training certification here, be a trainer, you pay your $2,000, you take the course, you take the test, you're a trainer.
Oh boy.
You've got no experience in the gym. Oh, you want to be a master trainer? Pay another $1,000 to be the master trainer. You take that course, you pass the test, you're now a master trainer. That's what the gyms are hiring these days. So here you've got someone with all this on-screen knowledge, but no practical application working with people. I don't have a single certification. None. I've been in this industry for 40 years. I learned everything from my coach, Bob Gruskin, back in the day, who was the guru in the bodybuilding world in the 80s when I was competing. And I learned it all from him. And I also learned it from the guys that he coached that were a few years older than me because we used to all go to the gym together and then train and then go out and eat and talk. That's where the knowledge comes from.
I love it.
And I could train anybody. I mean, I could train any body type. It doesn't matter because I have 40 years, not a computer-generated 2-week course.
Yeah. So talk a little bit about your experience and how you got into it. Obviously, you were into fitness and we all played in the schoolyard in the old days.
Oh my gosh. When I got into it, it was a family trip coming down to Florida. Might have been 15 years old. Stopped at a gas station, went inside, and there was a magazine stand. And on the cover of one of the magazines was Dennis Tenorino, and I still have the magazine to this day. My father goes, "Oh, that's a friend of mine. I know him." I'm like, "Are you serious? You know that guy?" I said, "I want to be that." And Dennis was a Mr. America, Mr. Universe winner. And from that moment on, I was bitten. And fortunately, my genetics carried me very far in the sport at a very young age. And I credit that to my coach, my trainer, Bob Gruskin, because I had the right foundation to start with, and I was given the right tools at a very young age. Yes, there was a lot of trial and error, but at 16 years old, I met him at a show, and he was coaching big-time pro bodybuilders back then, and he was mentoring me, and I learned it, and I trained at a couple of different gyms, and he was there watching and observing. And then I started competing, and I started going through the maturity stage. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. By the time I was 18, I was winning all the teenage bodybuilding shows. When I had just turned 20, actually, at 20, I took second at the Collegiate Mr. America in the heavyweights.
Wow. And well, what was your weight at that point in the collegiate heavyweights?
I might have been 210 pounds,
And you're how tall?
6'3".
6'3". Yeah.
But back then, that was a big symmetrical physique.
Yeah.
Back in the 80s. And then 3 months later, I go to the Mr. East Coast as a heavyweight, and I'm the youngest guy to win the heavyweights in the Mr. East Coast at 20 years old. You know, it's genetic. You can't change your genetics.
Yeah.
But you also have to know how to train your genetics.
Yeah.
And that's in any sport, whether it's soccer, golf, football, especially track and field and all that. You can't change the genetics. Those are God-given things. You have to have someone to help you accelerate those genetics and target the right things.
So give me an example of that. Like, I always had big legs, and I was a soccer player, played my whole life, as you know, but my legs were always big, and I still hit legs. There's always a leg day on my schedule, and I see people at the gym that have big biceps, and I think their legs are smaller than their biceps, if that's even possible. And I wonder, it's like, what are these people doing? Why are they not worried about muscle imbalance? I mean, is that what we're talking about here? That, you know, maybe they don't like training legs.
Certain body parts are always going to respond. Everyone's got that primary body part that's going to respond. Unless you know how to control muscle engagement. In other words, let's use squatting, for example. You just can't get under the squat rack and just start going up and down like a shock absorber squatting. You have to understand that you have to squeeze and contract your quadricep muscles before you go into the repetition, before you start going down.
Yes.
And then when you come up, you're pushing, and at the end, you're squeezing and contracting the muscles again. It's time under tension.
Yes.
You're not in there to lift the entire gym. You're in there to train the muscle.
Yeah.
And that's muscle engagement. And when you train with muscle engagement, you're not going to be able to train as heavy because you're going to fatigue that muscle so much faster because of the time under tension.
Yes. I love that you're bringing this up because, and I'm not trying to pick on people that I see at the gym, but I sometimes really do feel badly when I see, business people, men, women, that, I see in there's, they jump in the shower or whatever in the locker room and then put on their work clothes and they go to work. And I see them in the gym wasting their time. They don't know how to work out.
Right.
They're not doing anything intensely. And people always assume that you're going to build big muscles. And especially women. My muscles are going to be too big. They're going to be grotesque.
I've heard that so many times. First of all, it takes years to develop that kind of muscular physique. Years. And you also have to know how to train to get that muscular physique. And I see the same thing you see in the gyms. People are training improperly. But in today's world, you just can't go up to somebody and say, hey, let me show you how to do that. Yeah. Everyone is very standoffish. Everyone's tied to their phones, on social media, looking up all these exercises from these social media influencers. And they don't have any idea what they're doing. But they're so tied to monkey see, monkey do.
Yeah. I warned my daughter about that. I said, just because somebody is a fitness influencer and she looks like she's in shape, please don't take advice from that individual. You can easily get hurt. They don't necessarily have any clue what they're doing.
Everybody responds differently to training. Some people have the genetics for big chest, big shoulders, big legs. You have to know how to target and isolate the muscle groups. Yeah. It's not about how much weight you're pushing. It's how you're pushing that weight.
Yeah. Time under tension.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very important.
Talk about the nutrition piece and how that we've all heard. 80% of it is nutrition, 20% is working out. For me, I kind of feel like it's 50-50 because I can work out well. I've done it for so many years. I'm not Richard Politano, but I do know a few things about my body. And I do know I eat like crap most of the time, so that doesn't help me. I want to balance my calorie footprint, so to speak.
You can't out-train a bad diet.
Yes.
Now, with that being said, when you're younger, teens, 20s, you have that on fire metabolism.
Yes.
You can get away with going to McDonald's and ordering the left side of the menu twice. You can get away with that
Richard,
at that
I
age.
think we've done that.
Yes, several times. The White Castles was my favorite. Not one bag, two. Or a suitcase. But you can't out-train a bad diet. So you can't go into the gym, say, for 2 hours and train, and then go order the left side of the menu twice and expect to get away with it. Maybe in a younger age, but when you're 30 and you're 40 and you're 50, you know your metabolism every decade changes drastically. I used to have a very fast metabolism as a young guy.
Yeah.
Not so much. I became a type 2 diabetic when I was 40.
Jeez.
And they put me on all the medication, and over a 10-year period, I put on 100 pounds. 10 pounds every year on 3 different diabetic medications. And never once did the doctor say, just change your diet and go back to a high-protein diet and eliminate the carbs. No one ever told me that. I should have known that because I was a bodybuilder. I was a pro by the time I was 23.
Yeah.
But no one tells you that. And you don't think that. Oh, it's hereditary. It's the medication will do it. Medication put the weight on me because I kept eating the way I was eating. Not bad,
Yeah.
but I was having more carbs than I should have. So once I realized, I reversed my type 2 diabetes. I went from 350 pounds. I currently weigh 270 pounds. My body fat's at about 10% right now, maybe 10 or 12, it depends.
Amazing.
But it's a lifestyle. It's not an overnight success story. It's taken me 3 years to get there because A, I never missed a meal. I'm not going hungry. And I'm not calorie counting.
Yeah.
I'm not going on 1,500 calories a day. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I eat how I feel. I make sure my protein intake is based on what my goals are.
Yeah.
I keep complex carbs very low. I keep my protein above 200 every day, maybe 250. It depends. Every day is a little different. Depends how I feel. At this age, at a younger age, when you're trying to build all that muscle, you're going to consume more calories.
Yeah.
You can't do that in your 50s. I'm 59. I'm almost 60. You can't do that at this age.
Yeah.
You have to eat smarter.
I'm just right behind you, as you know.
Yes, you are.
1 year behind. So talk about your clients and that sort of assessment or analysis when you're starting with a client, whether it's someone online or someone in person that you're working with at the gym in Florida. You're in Tampa. How does that work? You obviously have to talk about nutrition because that's a huge
Yes,
part
I'm
of
a stickler for nutrition. Stickler. Whether you're with me one-on-one in the gym or you're online with me, I give you all of my training courses. And with those training courses that I sell individually, but they come with my 16-week package, there's a nutrition course in there that explains the keto carnivore diet and why it's so beneficial for the everyday person, the competitive guy, or the person that wants to reverse their diabetes or that want to lose that, that have that dramatic weight loss story. It's important because that's what we did back in the 80s for bodybuilding diets.
Yes.
The only reason why bodybuilding changed to that high carbohydrate thing was the change in the drug use.
Got it.
When they brought insulin into the factory, you have to feed insulin. And that's where the high carbs and sugars come in. My generation didn't do that. We didn't use that stuff.
Yeah.
But what I tell my people is, based on their goals, and you just can't, any coach that gives you a piece of paper that says, here's 6 meals a day, you need to follow this, you need to run. I can't tell you how to eat. You can tell me your favorite foods, and I can tell you how many grams of protein you should be taking, and fats, which are very important in these diets, and the complex carbs, and you keep them very low. And after 2 weeks, we're going to make an adjustment. And I'll give you an example. I have a kid who's a natural bodybuilder in St. Pete. He thought he was eating a lot, and he's a certified trainer and a certified nutritionist. He thought he was eating a lot before he met me. His name is Frankie. I said, Frankie, it's going to take us a month or so to get you dialed in to where I know what your metabolism's like. So we made the adjustments. I started him off on the basics. 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight, 50 to 90 grams of fats, and 100 grams of carbs because he's 23. That's a starting footprint. Yeah. Let's see where you are in 2 weeks, because you could always change it and add food. So 2 weeks later, he was 7 pounds leaner.
Wow.
I said, okay, let's increase your carbohydrates by 50 grams a day. Let's increase your protein by 25, and let's add one cheat meal a week.
Yeah.
And he goes to Five Guys and gets the bacon cheeseburger and the french fries, which you would think is a no-go, but it's like a reset. It's giving you what your body wants, but you're still eating 99% good.
Yeah.
So that one cheat meal is not going to hurt you. 2 weeks later, he's down a couple more pounds. So what do? Up the food intake. So if I'd have gave him this cookie cutter diet, Frankie, follow this 6 times a day, get with me next month. He would have either lost 15 pounds or shot himself in the head because he lost so much weight. That's the worst thing a bodybuilder can do, is have that much of a dramatic weight loss, because that's not what they want.
Yeah.
That's why it's always a 2-week adjustment to see what your body is doing. Now, he's doing 3 cheat meals a week.
Yeah.
His complex carbs are 225 to 250 grams a day, and his protein's close to 300. And he's 20 pounds heavier and leaner than what we started in January.
And most importantly, that's what he wanted. You're listening to your clients to understand what they want to achieve. And if you're working with a corporate client, a business owner, that a woman, a man that just wants to lose weight and tone up and get into a couple of pant sizes smaller.
Sure.
You know, you're going to analyze obviously what they're eating, and you're going to prescribe whatever exercise program fits.
Everybody has this philosophy of, oh, I've got a high school reunion in 2 months. I'm going to go on a diet. Yeah. So you diet for 2 months for the moment. You may have lost 15 or 20 pounds, but the minute the moment's over, you go off the diet.
Yeah. And
you end up putting on more weight than you took off.
Yeah.
It's not an overnight success story. It is a lifestyle of eating. This is how you should eat. Not 100% of the time. You want to go out to dinner and have your piece of cake or whatever, you can do that once a week.
Yeah.
And get away with it and not have any negative effect because you're so regimented on your diet plan. And it's not a diet, it's a food plan. This is how you eat.
Yeah. Talk about what I like to call the skinny fat contagious, disease, if you will, that I see going around. And
skinny fat is they lose all this weight and they're not training, and then when they raise their arm and go to wave, the underside of the arm is still going.
Yeah,
there's no muscle tone.
I don't understand that. There's women like that. There's men like that.
Yeah.
Men. Everybody's like, they get into running or all this cardio, and they forget that the weight training part is probably, 70% of your musculature.
Absolutely. A lot of times, they just think the diet's going to do it. So you have a very heavy person that goes on this really hardcore calorie-restricted diet, and if they're really holding themselves accountable and stay disciplined, they're going to lose the weight, but they're not going to have any muscle tone. So what happens when you take somebody who's 100 pounds overweight and drops a significant amount of weight, let's say 60 pounds, which is a very realistic number if you look at it for, say, an 8 to 10 month period, very realistic, and there's no training. You're losing fat, but there's no muscle tone. So the skin sags because the muscles aren't being conditioned. You're losing the weight, but you got all the saggy skin. So one hand has to wash the other when it comes to this. You have to do some type of training.
Yeah.
You just can't do the diet and expect to be fit and toned. You're gonna have that softness to you.
Yeah. Now, Rich, what's the easiest thing and the easiest way to get started? If you got somebody motivated, they're listening to this and like, you know what, Coach Richard, you're right. So if they go to your YouTube channel, Championship Muscle, there'll be a way for them to figure out where to start, correct?
In my YouTube channel, in the library or the playlist, I have all the body parts categorized. There's also one on diet, which there's probably 7 or 8 videos just on the diet themselves. Plus my training courses that I sell, which go into more detail than I put out on the videos. But that's a very good starting point for someone to start their journey. Watch my YouTube videos, because I'm telling you right now, it's raw footage. You're going to see me throwing a couple of good F-bombs here and there. I take this shit very seriously. And
keeping it real.
I keep it real, and I keep people accountable. This is the way I was taught to train, and I was a champion by the time I was 23. So if you want to listen to one of these 22-year-old social media influencers who can't find their ass with their two hands, go ahead. Yeah. You're not going to learn anything, but you're going to learn it from me, because my videos are more educational than they are about look at me, look at me. I don't ever train with my shirt off in these videos. I do the training in these videos, and some of them are just me talking about certain things, but I'm demonstrating and doing everything on an educational level, showing proper form and how things are supposed to be done. So I've had a lot of people make a lot of comments on my videos. They love them because they can relate to what I'm talking about, because I don't sugarcoat nothing. You know me, Lance. I don't sugarcoat nothing. You've heard me on a lot of my YouTube stuff, my other podcasts. I don't sugarcoat it.
Yeah.
You're going to learn the truth about diet and nutrition.
And that's, people that decide, that wake up and get serious and say, that's it. I am going to fix my health. I have one body. Yeah. I have one set of organs, if you will, whatever. I need to take care of this one vessel that I've been given. And they're going to get serious. And you're amazing to watch and listen to, because you said it. You are a champion. And I tell people that if you can get into business ownership, I represent hundreds of great franchises, and I've owned franchises. So that's why people want to talk to me. Same reason people want to talk to you. You're not just some influencer. It just so happens, Richard, you are an influencer. But,
I am.
But you were a champion way before that. So congrats to that.
I'm also almost 60 with 40 years of this experience under my belt. Yeah. So what's more important, a guy with 40 years experience or somebody with 10 different certifications and a PhD with no practical time on the floor?
Yeah.
I mean, you tell me. Some people want that. Oh, he's got all these certifications and degrees. Yeah, okay. Good luck.
I love it. So let's wrap it up with this. When it comes to people wanting to start, they can obviously go to YouTube channel. They can see proper form, certain exercises to do. And look, if they're working, triceps or biceps or chest, there's obviously a variety of exercises. And they could also reach out to you for help and one-on-one support. Absolutely.
I have a 16-week Transformation X training course that I put out. I'll put a link in the description. There's a site called Buy Me a Coffee that my products are available for. And with that Transformation X course, you're going to get all of my training videos, which aren't available on the YouTube channel. There's more information in the training videos. I go into really great depth for beginner, intermediate, and advanced training. Yep. And people that have bought these courses absolutely love it. They love it.
So, Rich, I have to know the most common mistakes. Give me the top 3 most common mistakes that you see people doing for fitness or nutrition.
One would be monkey see, monkey do in the gym. Someone goes into the gym with no realistic idea of what they're doing, and they're looking around trying to find somebody who's doing what they want. And they go to try to mimic them, regardless of how that person looks.
I see that with a lot of the girls doing the butt exercises.
It's ridiculous.
They're all lined up doing, the bridges and all, they're putting 300 pounds across their hips and thrusting to get a big fat butt.
The best butt exercise is sit on your butt on the floor and scoot like a baby. You ever see a baby with a flabby ass? Absolutely not. They're like right there. Get on the floor and scoot like a baby, forward and backwards. That's the best butt exercise.
Yes, sounds good. All right, so that was the first common mistake. Monkey see, monkey do. What's the second?
Not following a healthy nutrition plan. Someone wants to go through a bulk up phase. They're going to eat, and let me know if I could drop a adjective.
Go right ahead.
They're going to eat like they got 3 assholes. Every meal's not Thanksgiving, okay? You have to eat a certain amount of food per sitting. You don't have to eat 4,000 calories a day to gain muscle. You have to eat the right amount of protein based on what your body weight is. You can only metabolize so much at a time. If you take in more than your body can manufacture or use, you're going to get fat. So anyone that says, I'm going to bulk up and put 20 pounds on to start dieting it down, you're going to put 20 pounds of fat on. You're not going to put any muscle on.
Yeah.
Slow and steady wins the race.
Yeah. So, monkey see, monkey do. The diet plan. What's number 3?
Holding yourself accountable.
Love it.
Going out on Friday nights and, it's the weekend, I'm going to go have a few drinks, go eat whatever I want, and I'll be back in the gym Monday morning. Oh, I'm so hungover I can't get into the gym Monday morning because I went out and partied Friday and Saturday. I'll be in there Tuesday. And before you know it, you'll lose your accountability and you just end up not showing up.
I love it.
You have to hold yourself accountable. It's not an overnight success story. It's a lifestyle of living. Like you said earlier, you only get one body, one time go around. Yeah. Don't wait till the doctor says, hey, you're type 2 diabetic. You better do something about it. Otherwise, you're going to start cutting limbs off. Don't let yourself
high blood pressure. You have high cholesterol.
That's right. That's right. Don't let yourself get to that point. Take care of it now. And especially the businessmen, the business people that are so busy, prioritize your time. Get up 2 hours earlier or an hour earlier. Go to bed an hour earlier so you can get to the gym and get that workout in.
Put your workout right on the schedule.
Right. That's right.
Rich, you've been amazing. Final thoughts, final words of wisdom.
Anybody has any questions, reach out to me, mention this podcast, and I will give you a free 20-minute telephone call with me. Zoom call or regular call, doesn't matter. And maybe we can work together and you'll be able to be a part of my team of, my 16-week Transformation X. And I guarantee you're going to see the results. I do nothing but produce results. With that being said, I thank you for having me, Lance. It's been an absolute pleasure.
I love it. Rich, thank you so much for being here. Coach Richard Politano, Championship Muscle, more than 40,000 subscribers, heading to 50,000 soon.
If you're ready to talk about franchise opportunities, hit the link below to schedule a call. My services are free, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for listening.